sorry for the delay. I'd like to call the Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting to order on this Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence after? Okay, thank you on that. Can we get a roll call on the commissioners?
Soto Presley?
Here.
Kasperky? Navejas?
Here.
Myrick?
Here.
Hubbard?
Here, we have 4 present with 1 absent. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4, communications.
There are none.
Yeah, there was.
I think there
was.
wasn't there an IPSCO letter?
Yes, there was a.
She didn't give me her packet at all. It's in mine.
Okay, yes, Commissioners, there was a letter received, an easement request from NIPSCO regarding an Oxbow Landing addition to the city as it pertains to the Kennedy Avenue Bridge project. There is a copy of the letter in your letter, as well as a survey and some additional supporting documentation in your packet. At this time, we would just ask that you review it and refer it to staff.
So move. I
Second.
second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the communication letter that was received from NIPSCO. It's going to be reviewed by staff. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Kasperziki? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Thank you. Number 5 is homebound conditional forgivable loan approval. Looks like if they are all here, we have 4 applicants.
Yes, they're all here.
Can they come forward and don't be shy and introduce yourself to the commission here?
Hi, I'm Kelly Flynn.
And Ms. Flynn, how did you hear about our program?
I work at a school, and my registrar told me about it.
Okay. And the young lady behind her, you want to step up?
I'm Kaylee Martinez, and I heard about it from my realtor,
And may I ask who's your realtor?
Amanda Kaiser.
Okay.
Sarah Cordova, and I heard it from my lender,
And who's your lender?
Donna Homer.
Oh, okay. Diamond Residential?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I am David Hong Chang Dan, and I heard it from my realtor, Rich Ward.
Oh, okay. I know him too. I'm a realtor, so that's why, you know.
You're a realtor?
I'm a realtor. No, it's not a realtor, it's realtor.
Realtor.
Oh, realtor.
Yes, R-E-A-L-T-O-R, not R-E-L-A-T-O-R. Anyway.
Or I.
What can we
Are
say?
you guys all first-time home buyers? Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Does the attorney want to play it?
I just see they're all current Hammond residents, and your new purchase is going to be in Hammond as well, so we appreciate you looking into the program and taking the opportunity to use the program. And
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 4 applicants that are present.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 4 applicants that are present tonight. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Kasperziki? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You may be excused if you like. Okay, moving along, we got acceptance. It's number 6 of proposals for the sale of real property at 5951 Willis Avenue.
Where did there any proposals received?
I don't have anything here. I only have my packet. She didn't have anything.
Commissioners, I don't believe there was any proposals received. This property was advertised, it's owned by the Redevelopment Commission, and it's a residential lot. So I don't believe there was any proposals received if we don't have any today.
So then there's no action required?
No, not at this time.
I kind of remember the address, but, okay, so,
I have is the legal notice, that's it.
Yeah, it was advertised, and I believe that there was some interest by the adjacent property owner, but we don't have any proposals at this time.
okay, no action at this time then. So we will move along to, number 7's approval of agreement for professional services for the business consultant / financial and commercial loan analyst.
Commissioners, in your packet, you will find an agreement for professional services. The agreement is for a business consultant or financial and commercial loan analyst. This person will be responsible for reviewing the business plans for the job creation program that's administered through the Economic Development Program. As many of you know, previously that position was held by Professor or Dr. Pat Obey, and we're asking that we basically just update his contract to reflect a current term, as well as to raise the amount that he was getting paid, because the previous per hour amount that he was paid was like $125, so we wanted to bring it to be consistent with some of the other financial advisors. So we're asking that you review the contract and approve the contract with an hourly rate of $200, which is it's comparable to what we pay other financial advisors, because the scope of his work will be reviewing business plans and advising us from the business plan standpoint.
Mr. President, I make a motion,
Bless you.
bless you, to accept the approval of agreement for professional services for the business consultant, financial, and commercial loan analyst.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gasparzicki, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Helpridge.
Yes, motion passes with 4 yes, 1 absent. All right, number 8's an approval of letter of intent for 6433-49 Kennedy Avenue.
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find a letter of intent for 6433 to 49 Kennedy Avenue. This is a vacant piece of property that is owned by the Redevelopment Commission. It formerly was the site of the Brothers 2 bar, and that was demolished quite a few years ago. We've had a real estate agent representing the property. We've had some interest, and it's weaned down some. We recently had some increased interest, so we ordered updated appraisals, and the property has been advertised. And we recently received a letter of intent. Staff has met with the gentleman who I thought he would be here today, but he's proposing doing a multi-tenant strip center at that site. He did state he will work with staff as far as appropriate users for that site. But as I stated, staff has met with him and is very much so in favor of his proposed development.
So do we need to recommend this to staff or for further study, or what do we need to do with
Just
this?
need to recommend.
No, I mean, I think you need to authorize staff to enter into a purchase agreement in light of the letter of intent.
Well, I have a couple concerns with this personally.
Yeah, that was if you were so inclined.
Yeah, I have a couple of concerns with this.
Commissioner Myrick?
In the contingencies, paragraph 6, the right to extend the investigation period, he's asking for an additional 90-day due diligence period. He's asking for 90 days in the beginning. Why do we need to give him 180 days to do his due diligence? That's my first concern. The second one is in Fees and costs, paragraph 8, it says seller should pay a Phase 1 environmental report. I think the buyer should pay for a Phase 1 environmental report. The Alta survey, he has that going to the seller. I think that should be a 50-50 contribution. And then number 11, he wants to be exclusive. He does not want anyone to be able to market, offer, negotiate this property. So that means we couldn't even entertain a backup offer. So for me, these are my concerns.
I think they're all legitimate concerns.
So what I would like to see done, I would like to see this go back to staff and someone review this and rewrite this contract, because I would say no to it. Although I might be overruled, I would say no.
Well, I mean, this is a letter of intent, right? So, letter of intent is an agreement to agree to a purchase agreement, right? So, what I think Africa was looking for was the authority for me to draft a contract. I can certainly draft a contract if you can, I didn't write down everything you were saying, I was listening,
I give it to you.
but if you could give me those parameters again, I can draft a contract with those things in mind.
Okay.
And we can send it back to him and see what he says.
Okay.
Because at the time that we met with the gentleman that's interested, as well as his real estate agent, and the agent said that she just basically took a standard letter of intent and sent it to us, basically showing us his interest in the property. So at any point in time, we definitely can negotiate the terms of the agreement.
Yeah, because in real estate, everything's negotiable. I get that. Okay.
So do we need to table this until such time as?
No, we can probably, and Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we can probably approve for purchase order contingent on what the changes Commissioner Myricks has stated.
So moved.
And I second that.
Can you restate all those again? Remember, you're going to do that for me so I can write them down?
Okay, so page 1, under number 6, under contingencies. C, right to extend the investigation period. It says purchaser shall have the right to extend the investigation period for up to 3 months and 30-day increments, conditioned upon environmental discovery and other defined site issues. In my opinion, why they can't do that in the first 90 days? But that's just me. The second was
Number 8?
page 2,
Number 8.
number 8, fees and costs. I would like it changed from seller to buyer. And I would like it changed to Phase 1 environmental report B for, I'm sorry, I would like buyer to pay for the Phase 1, which is A, and then B, which is the Alta survey, I would like that to be a 50-50 split, not the seller paying for it. And then number 3 would be number 11. He wants to be exclusive. So doing this, according to the verbiage that I see here, it says during this investigation period and any extension thereof, in the 30 days following purchaser's approval of the investigation period, seller will not show, market, offer, or negotiate the property or any portion thereof or interest therein to any party other than this purchaser. Nor will seller conduct discussions with any third party with respect to the same. And like I say, my problem with that is, let's say this deal goes south. You can't talk to anybody for 90, maybe another 90, so.
I got it.
have a problem with that.
Okay.
I had a couple other things, but those were the ones that I'm not gonna mention the other ones, but those were the 3 that were big for me.
Well, and the one thing, first off, I don't have any issue with the stuff you've mentioned, those 3 items. But one thing I just have you keep in mind is this piece of property has been on the market for several years. And if we get the use, I think what the staff and probably Phil Talon was thinking was if we get the uses, which I know he wanted a restaurant there, that he would be willing to bend on, some of some of the other items, just because, you know, having a piece of property that's not on the tax rolls for several years, and we finally get it off the tax rolls, and we get it put to a productive use, was something that he was looking at as important. That said, I don't think anything you've mentioned here is out of bounds. Like, you know, if he came back and said, well, I'm not gonna pay half the Alta,
And then we negotiate.
we would negotiate that, right? So, but I think as a first shot at, hey, here's a purchase agreement that we approve of, that I drafted the way with those 3 changes in it, and there'll be other things, you know, a purchase agreement and a letter of intent. The purchase agreement by its nature is more involved than the letter of intent is. The letter of intent is an agreement to agree. It doesn't legally mean anything, so.
You'll be drafting that and putting that language in, and then
Right.
from that point.
And then we'll see what he says. And then we may come back and say, hey, you know, he agreed to 1 of them, he agreed to 3 of them, whatever.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay, we
So our original motion
have a
stands.
motion and a second then?
Mhm.
Yes.
With the contingency by Commissioner Myricks noted in for, it's number 6, number 8, and number 11. So we have a motion for the approval of the letter of intent for 6433-49 Kennedy Avenue. Can we have a roll call then, please?
Sutter Presley?
Yes.
Kaspersky? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, number 9 is determination of compliance for Spring Hill Town Place Suites at 7924 Cabela Drive and Woodmar Gateway Economic Development Plan. Welcome, you want to introduce yourself, sir?
My name's Terry Lang from Lang, Feeney and Associates. Our address is 715 South Michigan Street in South Bend. Represent the petitioner, JSK Development. Mr. Annette Patel is here from JSK. If you have questions that I can't answer, maybe he can with regards to it. JSK is looking to develop one of the parcels at the Cabela site, immediately adjacent to the Walmart. It's kind of an oddly shaped triangular parcel. We've worked diligently to get the proposed Spring Hill Town Place. It's a dual brand hotel. Spring Hill is known for suites for extended stay, where the Town Place is your usual hotel for the evening or weekend type stay. This will have that unique feature to be able to offer both of those types of stays at that location. We've put together a preliminary plan, which you have in your packet there, that shows the odd triangular shaped parcel. The hotel sits somewhat parallel to the Riverwalk behind it. Eventually, in the future, we may address the board with regards to tying on to that Riverwalk for a nice amenity to be offered to the residents and people staying at the hotel as a nice feature for that. What we are at this time looking to do then is to, on our preliminary plan, you can see the layout that we have. We are going to be putting in a drive for access off of the Walmart Drive that's located there. I know Walmart had some restrictions about access to that drive there because of their deliveries coming in and out of that direction right there. So what we've done is worked with the franchise, always asked to have 2 entrances. So what we've done is position the 2 entrances off of the new drive to be located, which in talking with Mr. Poland from the planning department, that drive will eventually loop around over toward the drive on the other side over there. Hopefully development will spur additional development in the area. I know there's a hospital going in immediately adjacent to this, and along with this hotel, as well as the fueling station located further down. With those development's taking place, the additional space, that roadway may happen pretty quick, which would satisfy the franchise itself likes to have, that access as much as you can to have two different directions. You'll see that we've added appropriate landscaping. We will have to come back to the board for some variances for the Board of Zoning Appeals with regards to the height of the building. I think we exceed the height by 4 or 5 feet, which we'll be preparing that petition and getting that submitted shortly if the board here sees fit for us to move forward with our plan. I talked with the engineering department tying on to the sewer and the water there. Both of those and stormwater management, they are informing us that all of that stormwater will be managed through the facility immediately adjacent to the site right there. And that way, basically, our site is 100% usable for parking and nothing will have to be used for retention. And then it can all be controlled through the structures there for the Calumet River there. So we're glad to work with that setup, provide the appropriate stormwater, sewer, and water extensions that's necessary for the hotel there at that location.
Sounds good. Do you have any questions? I'm going to bring up Mr. Brian Poland. Thank you, sir.
As you noted in your packet, the proposed development is for a 20,640 square foot footprint, 4 stories, with an investment of $7 million and the expectation of 6 full-time and 6 part-time jobs. So that's your economic impact for the project. And you have the elevations of the exterior of the building, which is a combination of brick and the EFS material. The question is whether or not the project as a whole is in compliance with the Woodmore Gateway Economic Development Area Plan. The guidance in that plan basically is saying looking for high standard and quality development, respect of the levee and the wetlands, and that that this area is serving the greater area because it's right off the expressway, and there is discussion of, which was mentioned, is making sure that the development has access to the walking trail on top of the levee structure. There were several issues. This has gone through a lot of internal reviews at this point, and this is expected to go to the Plan Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals, so it will not come back here. It will go on to those other bodies. In general, staff feels that the project is in compliance with the goals and objectives of the Woodmore Gateway Economic Development Plan, subject to 3 items. I'm adding a 3rd item on from my memo. Approval of the Plan Commission for the development plan and final technical review of the engineering details, approval of any variances by the Board of Zoning Appeals, and the recording of the subdivision. At this point in time, the subdivision has been approved by the Plan Commission, but has not been recorded, so this lot does not technically exist yet.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. That's good notation there. Is there any further questions?
So the recording of the property will take place when the whole deal closes, or? Recording.
Well, my understanding is, the property is still currently in the hands of Cabela's. So Cabela's, whatever entity of Cabela's it is, would be responsible for signing the plat and recording the plat. And therefore, any transactions of selling property from Cabela's to these property owners, that referring to the hospital that came through us a couple of weeks ago, and the hotel, that would have to occur after the subdivision plat has been recorded. So we're waiting for them to tell us when that will occur.
Thank you.
So, Brian, can you give me the subject to again, the planning commission?
Yeah, the two that are on the report are the same, and I'm just adding a third one, subject, recording of the subdivision.
Mr. President, if there's no further discussion, I would like to make a motion that staff has decided that this project is in compliance for the Springfield Townhouse Suites at 7924 Cabela Drive and the Woodmar Gateway Economic Development Plan, subject to the three.
On the second page, if you want to read it,
I'm trying to find
at the
it.
bottom.
Any recommendations?
Subject to the review of approval by the planning commission for development plan and final technical review of the engineering details, approval of any variances by the board of zoning appeals, and approval of the recording of the subdivision.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further questions or discussion, roll call then, please.
Center Presse,
Yes.
Kasperziki, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Helpert.
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes with 1 absent. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, number 10's Resolution 19-4, resolution entering into an interlocal agreement with the City of Hammond Department of Parks and Recreation regarding payment of invoices for engineering, design, consulting, and construction work of the Hammond Sportsplex Southwest parking lot.
So, I think the resolution is self-explanatory. The Park Department's already approved it, but essentially it's that southwest parking lot that Brian and I were discussing what was really southwest, but it's the southwest parking lot that we own that they want to utilize for, we want to design and actually have a parking lot as excess parking for the weekends, primarily the weekends, for the Sportsplex. And since we own it, we needed to grant our approval for this.
The lot is currently, Commissioners, the lot is currently being used, but it was being used during the construction of the Sportsplex as a place for the construction companies to hold their trailers, their tools, and their equipment. But now, since that's been moved, and if you drive past, you'll see, I believe, some of the lights that were formerly by Woodmar are still there. But it's currently being used because there's an overflow in parking, because there's such a high demand in the Sportsplex. So the lot is being used, however, it has not been upgraded as the other lots have been upgraded with the Sportsplex.
That is correct.
Okay, Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the resolution 19-4, resolution entering into an interlocal agreement with the City of Hammond Department of Parks and Recreation regarding payment of invoices for engineering, design, consulting, and construction work of the Hammond Sportsplex Southwest parking lot.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I guess let's have a roll call on that then, please.
Center Presse,
Yes.
Kasperziki, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Helpert.
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent. Number 11's our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for February 8th, 2019 through February 27th, 2019 for claims R57-116 through R57-180.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for our register of claims dating February 8th, 2019 through February 27th, 2019. That's claims R57116 through claim R57180. Is there any questions or discussion on these claims for staff? Okay, roll call on the claims.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Kasperziki? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Helfrich?
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Number 12, new and unfinished business. Mr. Poland, you have the floor again.
I received today a letter from NICD regarding having access to property the Redevelopment Commission owns for them to do soil investigations, environmental investigations. It is property that is on Marble Street, which will be subject to their acquisition for the maintenance yards for the Westlake Corridor. The documents I have some incorrect information on them, so they are yet to be approved by the attorney and modified accordingly. So what we are looking for is if you would give us authorization to go ahead, and therefore, when we get the final document, that the president would sign the documents.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. After you get the authorization. Okay, can we have a roll call on that, please?
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Kasperziki? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Helfrich?
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
And on a second note, this is just me expressing a personal, professional comment regarding anything about due diligence periods of 90 days. Just from our experience, sometimes 90 days is not enough time to have all the environmentals reviewed if there is a phase 2 involved, or if they have to go through any BZA actions or rezonings of the council. So just keep in mind that 90 days is sometimes is a little tight. On this particular project on Kennedy, I have not met with them. I've been playing email tag with them, trying to set up a discussion about what their plans are. So I don't know what those issues are on this particular project.
Okay. So noted. Thank you.
Okay, any more unfinished business?
No, not this time.
Okay, number 13 is public comment. If anybody would like to come forward, it is now open. You have 3 minutes, you can speak. Okay, public comment closed. Number 14.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.